My name is Tanya Kane, and I'm doing my second informative speech for speech communications. Today, I'm going to talk to you about augmentative alternative communication devices, also known as AAC devices. These devices are tools for nonverbal individuals to use to speak and to communicate with others, whether it be at school, the community, within their families, or in society in general. Some of these can be low-tech devices, such as picture boards or communication books. However, in schools, we use those, but now we're also using iPads, which is the more high-tech devices, iPads and tablets. And with the iPads and tablets, there's several apps that can be downloaded to use for communication. One of those is Proloquo to Go. This is the app that we use with our school district. This is the one that is downloaded onto an iPad device for students that need an AAC device who are nonverbal. Once this is downloaded onto an iPad and assigned to an individual student, the students do not play on the iPad with games, music, or videos. It's strictly a communication device only. This becomes their voice. So they take it wherever they go because this is how they communicate. This is how they talk. It's using Proloquo to Go. So these devices allow students to become more involved in their classroom environment with their peers, with their teachers, with their family members, with society, and within the community. They allow them to answer questions. They can greet others with those. They can tell how they're feeling, express their thoughts, their emotions, and they also can facilitate their learning. Also, teachers can use these AAC devices in order to assess the students. They can answer yes and no questions. They can be asked a range of questions such as, what color is this? And they can touch a color to say that they know their colors, their shapes, their numbers, and so many different things within the community they can use AAC devices for. It's not just limited to school. Also, they may be expensive, and a lot of school districts cannot afford to provide each individual student with their own iPad or their own tablet with the programming. Fortunately, our school district does have those. Also, it's expensive for families to get these iPads or tablets, and the programming is expensive. But that is where the Association of Assistive Technology Act program comes into effect. This act is a grant that funds it enhances the awareness, creates access, increases availability to assistive technology for people with disabilities. So individual families are able to apply for these grants. Therefore, their person, their individual, their student, their child, their family member, their loved one can have an AAC device at no cost to them. However, once an AAC device is established, it requires training of teachers, training of aides, training of other faculty and staff, training of family members, training of those that's going to be around the individual with this AAC device. Because we can't just hand it to them and say, here you go, let's communicate. We have to facilitate the learning of this communication device. So that takes training on our part so that we can learn to navigate, because there's many pages. As you can tell, hopefully you can see this, this is just one page of a communication app page from Proloquo 2. This says, I want to go outside. In order for a student to tell us they want to go outside, they have to hit I want or I want to go, and then they'll have to navigate to activities, and then they'll have to go find outside. students, these younger kids, they can navigate these things. They know how to flip through this stuff. And they'll explore it, and it'll just be sounding off all kinds of stuff when they're getting used to it. But this is how they learn to use their voice, because this is their voice. In order for them to be successful with an AAC device, it has to be done consistently. It requires consistency at home, consistency at school, consistency in the community. So it has to be done intentional and consistent. I myself have personal experience with AAC devices. We have 4 students within our classroom that use AAC devices, and the results from the use of these have been astonishing. I have witnessed students going from not being able to communicate, getting very frustrated, having behaviors because they can't let their feelings out, they can't tell us what they need, to go into counting out loud, to telling us what they want for lunch, tell us how they're feeling, and even greeting us with saying, they'll touch, hello, my name is Tanya. Or they'll say goodbye or good morning with these communication devices. It's their voice. It makes the world of difference. So I hope that my speech today has given you some knowledge and insight into these AAC, augmentative alternative communication devices, that hopefully in the future you'll start seeing people out in the grocery stores, parks, the community, restaurants, or wherever, and they're holding these devices. They may be big, they may be small, but they're holding these devices and they're touching their buttons because that's their voice. And maybe they'll come up to you and say, hello, my name is Tanya. And you can say, well, hello, my name is so-and-so. And you can communicate back and forth with them with that. And that is a great opportunity for individuals to be independent and communicate, when before this, they had their own thoughts stuck to themselves because they couldn't let it out. Thank you for your time.